Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Trust the Process here, and I'm here to talk about this interesting topic, which is who needs weed when you have the gym. Now, let me just let me just make this point clear. If you want to smoke weed, it's whatever, it's your prerogative, that's fine, it's your life. You do whatever you want with it. Me personally, I don't touch this stuff, and I'm never going to because I'd rather be in the gym working out. Okay, and here's why I'm making this video, because this is based off personal experience, what I've seen and what I've analyzed. What I've seen so far is that smoking weed, yes, weed, marijuana is a natural, it's a natural herb, right? It's a natural herb, is used in medicinal usage for, medical reasons for someone who is going through certain things like cancer, different types of cancers to alleviate the pain. Now, when people tend to smoke weed as a extracurricular activity, now that's where, to me, in all honesty, is further fuel the retardation within their brain, to where it distorts their judgment, where they make bad decisions, and they become walking, slow, dim-witted zombies. And look, I'm not saying that's everybody who smoke weed. So I'm just saying from what I've seen is I'm speaking for the vast majority of what I've seen personally. While on the other hand, a person that goes to the gym who's trying to work on himself and dismiss me with that what was it? Oh, you gotta love yourself and what was it? Body positivity nonsense. No. Person who go to the gym, they see that they want to improve their physical appearance because they feel as though there's certain things they can do about it. And I commend them for it, If you feel as though you're going to the gym because you want to improve something with you physically, right, then go for it. And being in the gym, because I like to consider myself a gym rat, even though I don't go to a public gym, I have a gym at home. I like to work out in solitude. Being a person who's very consistent, who was very inconsistent in the past, the gym, for me, is a very, how you say, satisfying feeling because you're working on yourself, you're grinding, and you're just enjoying the journey while you just work out, right? You're over here, and it's a certain meditation to the gym too, as well, working out in the gym, because while you're working out, you're just thinking, sitting back, and you're thinking, man, I'm on the way, I'm on the track of becoming the person that I am working towards, because the person that I envision in my mind is in top level shape. So that's why I will always promote proper fitness, working out in the gym and dieting. While on the other hand, I noticed from several different experiences with people who smoke weed that weed tends to make you lethargic, it makes you slow, and it distorts your judgment and your thinking. Because I'll tell y'all a story. Basically, I see, I had several different co-workers that I have come in and who smoke weed. Now, one guy who was a co-worker, he was a pretty good worker. A little bit off a little bit, but he was pretty good. While the others that they brought into this store, I work at a grocery store, they came in and you can tell they smoke weed. You could smell it on them. And they worked out for maybe a couple days until they decided that they wanted to show up and just get a paycheck for doing nothing. And at the same time, while everybody else is working, they're complaining about how they're not getting enough money, even though they already was told how much they was getting paid and what their job was. They move slow. They put stuff in the wrong spot. And then they say they did something, then they end up not doing it, right? On the flip side, you see a lot of this, especially in the melanated culture, where guys who promote smoking weed is all cool and stuff. And yeah, everything smoking weed, yeah, it's all cool. It's all natural, fam. But then the same guys who saying this are guys who's either not working and sleeping in their mom's basement, not making any money, but they have time to laugh on TikTok about a guy named Drew Street, a fat dude in blonde hair, dressing like a woman. These guys have no motion. They're not men on a mission, but they'll get for single mother and said they got a dime piece. Shame. But a guy who's in the gym, he learns discipline. Because when you go in the gym, it's no laughing matter. You go in there to work. Just like how you go in there in the job. You go in there to work and to grind and to better yourself. So you gotta be disciplined. You gotta put in that effort, because working out in the gyms transform you. You feel it during the journey. It transforms you into a better person that you always wanted to be. While you sit back and smoking weed, it gives you that stoner-like mentality, which also can be associated with slackers. Again, I'm not saying everybody who smoke weed is a slacker. I'm not saying everybody who smoke weed is a loafter. By the way, a loafter means bum, a guy who's going nowhere. That's what my mentor, who is a Jamaican, he taught me. But basically, all I'm just saying is that I'm not trying to persuade nobody to put down the weed, but I say my best advice to you is to put down the weed pipe, put down the weed cigarette, or put down the bong, and hit the gym and elevate yourself. Now, for a person who does it in moderation, let's say you do it once every other week, yeah, that's fine to a certain degree. But the thing is, with marijuana, Mary Jane, it gets pretty addictive, just like any other cigarette or any other drug. And not only that, it's a gateway drug. To give an example, look at a guy by the name of Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle was a MMA fighter, competed in the UFC, got kicked out. Basically because he couldn't pass a drug test because he was so obsessed with smoking that Mary Jane, He got kicked out. Then he eventually led to pro wrestling. And then guess what happened? He was one of the guys pegged to have the most potential to be a big star. But at the same time, a lot of stuff happened. He became a problem. Found out he was doing crack as well. See, weed. Now, is it based upon his weed addiction? I mean, it's a gateway to it. But at the same time, you don't want to deal with anything like that. Now, I had friends, relatives, who engaged with smoking the marijuana. And from seeing them, it just makes them slow. Because they always come to me about how they want to do this, they want to do that. They will have these plans here, but they don't really have no motion. All they just do is just lay back, take a puff of the Mary Jane, eat whatever snacks that they have, and just watch, funny YouTube clips, or watch the game or whatever. And some of them watch the game, eating up the snacks, all the snacks from the cabinet in the closet, from their girlfriend's couch, and the kids are looking in the cupboards and wondering where all the snacks gone. And that's not his kids, by the way. But and then you also got relatives over here who say, yeah, we can do all this and that. They got a job, they working, but they just don't feel, they just want to sit back and just loaf off somebody else because they don't feel like paying rent or whatever. And then they want to hang out with stoners that's 10 years younger than them, and guess what? I'm not naming names. 10 years younger than them, and the stoners that he don't know, he thought they was cool with, end up robbing him. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. People who are gym rats, people who are in the gym, they are there to grind. They are there to put in that work. They want to improve their bodies, right? Improve their bodies, get in better shape, get in better health, to feel better about themselves. And there's nothing wrong with that. They want to feel good because they are trying to craft their bodies into the person that they want to be when they're in the gym, grinding and hustling. They're hustling to be the person they want to be. You can't do that when you taking a puff all day, like smoking off a Friday. I say it again, you can't do that when you over there taking a puff of the Mary Jane all day when you all smoking on Friday. Look what happened to them, right? This is a perfect example, a perfect representation. All they did was smoke, sell, almost got killed. Wow. If they was in the gym and actually got a job, they wouldn't have to worry about it. Because for people who's working, they don't have time to just take a quick hit or whatever because they on the grind or whatever. If you're a person who said believe in moderation, hey, that's you. Hey, you do you, you know. There's nothing wrong with moderation. I'm not here trying to convince people, oh, weed is bad, all this other stuff. I'm just saying, I'm just letting you know. I know people, I've been around people who smoked a lot, and they say they want to get in the gym, they want to get in better shape, but all they just do is go back smoking, sitting on the couch watching funny Kai Cenat videos while eating up Doritos and other snacks that was meant for the kids, not his kids, the woman's kid, and he's living under a woman at her place, and he doesn't have no motion. He didn't establish himself. He don't even have a job no more. Well, a person who was in the gym, he knows what it's like to grind and hustle, and he's working on better himself physically so he can go out into the working world and better himself financially and mentally. Trust the process and lay off the weed, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. One more thing, make sure you hit the gym too. All right, later.